Go on then.
Great. So we're having a few people join now, I think. Good morning, everyone. I wonder if any of the people joining will see themselves in some of the pictures as we go through the slides. We'll just leave it a couple of minutes, shall we? Such happy faces there. What award did they win? Couldn't quite read it. Best clean premises?
Is it a shopping centre?
I think it might be.
County Square shopping centre.
Nice.
We have some other winners here today, though.
Oh, exciting. Okay. Just leave it one more minute and then we'll get started. Okay, so before we begin, I just need to let you know that this webinar is being recorded. So some of you may be watching it after the event. Just be aware that we're recording it now. So good morning. I'm Amy Carter and I work for Kimberly-Clark Professional. I'm only involved a tiny bit in this webinar and I'll be handing over to Suzanne shortly. So really, I want to say firstly, thank you for attending the webinar today. We've been hosting the Golden Service Awards now for, gosh, over 30 years. Now more than ever, these awards are so important, particularly to cleaning teams who have worked tirelessly throughout the pandemic to keep us safe. During the webinar today, we're going to be hearing from some previous winners, which is really exciting. And hopefully you'll get some tips and advice on how best to win an award. So with no further ado, I am going to pass over to Suzanne.
Thank you very much, Amy. Thank you for joining, everybody. I just want to, first of all, introduce Dominic Ponniah from Cleanology. He's the CEO. And the Cleanology have won a few times now in the last 4 years. And I'm going to ask Dominic a few questions. But before I do that, I'd also like to introduce Gillian to you from the Calderdale Hospital. And I know that Gillian absolutely loved the event. So I'm going to ask her a few questions about that in a few moments. Dominic, if I could start with you, if that's all right. Thank you really very much for coming today. I just want to ask you how important you think the Kimberly-Clark Professional Golden Service Awards are for the cleaning and FM industry.
Hi, Suzanne. Thanks very much for having me. I apologise in advance if there's any background noise. I'm in the Savoy Hotel at the moment. I've tried to find the quietest corner in the hotel, but I may get moved on, so I hope I don't. Yeah, look, the Kimberly-Clark Professional Golden Service Awards are, you know, for us, we see them as the cleaning Oscars. They are, you know, the absolute, you know, top award to win for the industry. Obviously, they're only every two years, which makes them even more special. And, you know, when we sit down in front of a client and we talk to them about it, you know, there is, you know, there's a lot of weight and gravitas associated with these awards. And, you know, if you can be the best in the industry, there's no greater accolade to win really for us. So for us as a business, and I know for the industry as a whole, the Golden Service Awards are the award to win. And I always kind of dreamt when we first started, you know, wow, look, those companies are winning these awards. Wouldn't it be amazing to win one? So to be in a finalist so many times and to have won 3 awards, you know, twice back to back and 2 awards in one year, you know, means a huge amount to us.
Thank you very much, Dominic. And can I just ask you, on a sort of practical level, how do you make the best of the awards that you've won in terms of how you present them to your clients? I know that you use them on social media, but perhaps you could tell the audience listening today how you make the most of those awards that you've won.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. In terms of social media, we do a lot on there, but there are two really big aspects, I suppose, for us. One is our own internal, teams, and I think in many ways is probably even more important than what clients think, because I remember winning when we sat down the 4th of March last year in Hilton, and just the reaction of our team was, they were so proud to win. And then we telephoned the office, and the entire office came down to the Hilton and met us, and we had a big impromptu party. We weren't expecting to win one, let alone two. And just the reaction from the team is so amazing, and they just feel they're part of something really, really special. And then to be able to tell like our wider cleaning teams about it and sending them all a message, and them all replying and saying, wow, that's amazing, well done, I'm so proud to be part of your company. That is really, really special. And then obviously on the other side of it, you've got the clients who are just really happy that they're working with the best in the business. They're happy for us that they've been partnering with us. And obviously for new business and new clients, it's obviously so valuable to be able to say, look, we've won this award, or we're a finalist. It just gives you so much credibility.
Yeah.
And I can't really recommend it enough for any business in this industry.
Oh, thank you very much, Dominic. That's really, really helpful. And I don't know if you can stay. I don't think the webinar is going to last too long, but if anyone's got any questions, maybe at the end, it'd be great if they might have a question for you, if that's all right.
Yeah, no, I've got a meeting at 11, but I'll stay as long as I can.
Okay, great.
Any questions?
Thank you very much. Now, Gillian, thank you so much for joining us today. I know that you've been talking to one of my colleagues, Sheila, and the big thing that came out of the conversation with her and you was the fact that you loved the event, and I would like you to talk about that. I just wondered if I could start by asking you a very sort of generic question. Why do you enter the Kimberly-Clark Professional Golden Service Awards?
I think in a similar way to Dominic, really, that I always feel as if, people don't always recognise cleaning staff in the way that they should do, and the important role that they play in any organisation or any public building, and often with domestic services, particularly in healthcare, sometimes there's all these skilled people around you, and you often feel as if, oh heck, I don't really know what I'm doing, but they play such an important part in keeping the buildings clean, everything clinically clean. So it's a really good boost for the recognition of the team that do that relentlessly day in, day out. It's such an important thing for them, because it does feel like the Oscars of the cleaning world. Dominic's right, and it does feel like that. And I don't know of any other similar award schemes that there are. So it's always quite a privilege, really. Even in the past, if we've not been shortlisted, or we've been shortlisted but we haven't won, it's still quite a privilege to come along to the event and bring staff with us. On occasions we've managed to bring our client as well, and actually when we won in 2020, we did have the client with us, and she was just absolutely euphoric, because she knows how many times we have tried along the years to win it for the team here. So it's been incredible, really.
And Gillian, just give us a few words on how, for those people that are listening today, some might be a little bit nervous about what they've actually got to produce for the judges. Can you give us a few, just a few words on how you go about organising your entry? So the writing of the content, the gathering of the certificates, just a few words on that, just to make people feel at ease, really.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say to anybody, don't be put off by all the paperwork that you've to gather, because certainly for me, there were the odd thing that I didn't have, but that's never gone against us. Really, I think as well, you've actually simplified the system along the way. I think over the years that I've entered, I think you've kind of made it a little bit more streamlined. And I know the last time I entered, you know, it didn't take me a full day to gather all the stuff. You know, I seem to be able to pull it together pretty well. I think the longest thing to write really is your reason, you know, the bit about the reasons why you want to enter. But I think for anybody entering, if you just kind of think about what it would mean to your team or to your business to do that, I'm sure you can easily come up with the words. You know, I am a person that I always sort of speak from the heart, and I just wrote my piece out from the heart, really, about the pride that we have for our building, you know, and what it means to us all and the people of Calderdale, because it is the only hospital in Calderdale. So it's important to us that we get that building right from a, you know, a hygiene perspective. So, you know, I've certainly the latter times I've entered, I have found it much easier because it's just photographs, paragraph, perhaps a letter, a backing letter from your client, you know, it's a training, the other people that you are also going to submit as well, like the employee and the supervisor, a little bit of writing on them, again, photographs and stuff. So I have found it easy to enter.
Brilliant. Well, I'm very pleased to hear that, and thank you, Gillian, because I do think it makes it does bring it to life, and people don't have to be worried about you know, it's not an extensive entry form or anything that you have to complete. But I am going to talk about that in a moment. So thank you to you too, Gillian, for joining us today. And if you've got time, maybe somebody might have questions for you at the end. So I think, Amy, I'll carry on now with the presentation, if that's all right, and just help people through the entry process. So just so that you know, oh no, my phone's ringing, sorry. I'll just cut them off. So the entry process is open to contract cleaning companies and FM companies in the UK and Ireland, as well as in-house cleaning teams. And the submission is 1,000 words. Somebody's ringing me back. Sorry. The submission is 1,000 words, and it's a Word document that can be uploaded onto the entry form, which is on the website. And if you go onto the website, you'll see that it says how to enter, and that's where you'll find the entry form. You don't need to send any clever graphics or any clever design. It literally is 1,000 words that we need to hear. So the submission is, as I've said, if you've done your 1,000-word submission, you then need to do a submission for the cleaning operative and the supervisor, if you wish to, with the categories that are for a site only. So you don't have to put forward a supervisor and a cleaning operative, but if you want to, it's free of charge, and you have to just write 500 words on each of them. And again, you have to upload a photograph of each of them. So all the photographs this time can be uploaded onto the entry form, and it can be saved as you go along, which is I'm very glad to hear Gillian say that it's it's much easier and much more streamlined than it has been before, which is great. And it is. And the best thing about this year is that you can save as you go along. So there's no need to worry about having to do the whole entry process or the whole entry form in one go. So the certificates, the photos, the 1,000-word submission, the 500-word submission can all be uploaded onto the entry form and then saved as you go along. So hopefully you won't have any problems, but if you do, we will give you our contact details at the end, and we're very happy to help anybody with any entry process that they might have a problem with. So on the next slide then, thank you, Amy. This is about the categories. Now, I'm not going to go through them all in a lot of detail, but I just want to give you a few sort of hints and tips along the way. If you've got a site to enter, then I would enter from healthcare all the way down to hospitals, office areas, education, retail, the shopping malls, manufacturing, hospitality, or leisure. and they are the ones where you can include a cleaning operative or a supervisor. I would say that if you're going to enter an office, the office areas over is quite a popular category, or has been in the past. That might change this year, we don't really know. But the office areas and the shopping malls are quite popular categories. So if you really want to, if you're going to enter one of those categories, then I would also say, why don't you enter one of the ones where it's a telephone interview and not a site visit as well, to give you a second chance. So there's environmental awareness, which is a telephone interview. There's training, which is actually a site visit, but it's a different, it's slightly different to actually one of the categories that I've mentioned before. The diversity category is a telephone interview. And we have a new one this year, obviously, for the pandemic, which is going the extra mile. But actually, it doesn't have to just be about the pandemic. If you feel that you've done something which is going the extra mile, then that would be a really good category for you to enter. There's small business, and the threshold on that one this year is £3 million turnover. So that gives everybody else a chance. And I've mentioned the supervisor of the year, and I've mentioned the cleaning operative of the year. If you're unsure about which category to enter, don't worry about that. You can either speak to us if you're not sure, or we can then speak to the judges. And actually what has been happening, what has happened in the past, is if the judges in the first round of the judging process feel that something isn't quite right, and not in quite the right category, then we will call you and let you know that we're going to switch it into another category. So we'll make it as fair as we can for you. So I'm very happy to take questions on the categories, maybe at the end, but we have a few more pieces of information for you. So the judging process, as many of you will know, is undertaken by BICS, and Stan Atkins is our chief judge. And they're responsible for all the judging of all the categories. That hasn't been the case in the past, but it is the case now, and was in 2020. So we are looking for all entries to be completed by the 29th of October. I'm cringing because I know that some of you will be cringing. I'm sure that we will increase the deadline to help some people that are slightly late with their maybe getting it all together. And that will be announced on the 29th of October. And then in November, once we have all the entries together, they will go to the first round of judging, which obviously is done by BICS, and they will score you on the quality of your submission, the 1,000 words that you write, the 500 words that you're writing for the cleaning operative and supervisor, and that they will be scores for the quality of the submission, the certificates that you're able to supply, and really your quality control as well. So all that will be taken into account, and then a list of finalists will be given at the end of November, and we will publicise that through press releases and our emailers and social media, and we'll also let everybody know. Then the next thing that happens is that the judges will then arrange site visits with you from December and January through those 2 months. We do ask that you comply with the dates that they give you if you can, because it is quite difficult for them. They have a lot of site visits to make. I think they have to make about 70. So we do need everybody to help them wherever possible. Don't offer them lunch or wine. They won't take it. You can be nice to them and offer them coffee, but it will be all very professional, and they will want to see your certificates that you've uploaded, and they will want to see the site as well. So I hope that also helps. And if you have any questions on the judging, then please do ask. And if we can't answer those questions today, we'll always get back to you. So why should you enter? Well, I think Gillian and Dominic gave a really good sort of a series of reasons why you should. But some of the reasons why we think you should enter are to showcase your best work and to get some really good publicity around that. And I thought this came out loud and clear earlier in the webinar. It's really recognition for your cleaning teams. That's what this is all about. and maybe that's more important than ever now. I think it also helps to strengthen your relationships with clients and stakeholders, and it helps you to differentiate yourselves and stand out from the crowd. And everybody who enters the Golden Service Awards is helping to drive standards in the industry. So the next thing to talk about are the key dates. So I've mentioned the deadline, which is Friday, the 29th of October. You can all breathe a bit of a sigh of relief because you are the first to know that this will probably be extended. As I said, the first round of judging takes place at the end, towards the end of November, and the finalists will be announced around the 25th of November. And then the site visits take place between December and January next year. And then what we're all looking forward to is the actual award ceremony, which is going to take place on Thursday, the 26th of May, 2022, which is really exciting. And we've actually got a change of hotels this time. We're going to be at the Intercontinental in Park Lane. So it's just a stone's throw from the Hilton, so not too difficult to find. We're really pleased with the new venue. It's really a very nice hotel. And we have our presenters already sorted. I'm not going to give that away today, though. So put that in your diary for Thursday, the 26th of May. And then finally, or nearly finally, the prices for entering the awards are £130 per category. And as I said earlier, if you do want to enter a cleaning operative or a supervisor into the site categories that I mentioned, then they're free. So you only have to pay £130 for each entry. And then the tickets at the event are £205 plus VAT. And we're going to be selling tables of 8s or 10s, but of course you can buy individual tickets as well. So I hope we'll be able to we'll see you there. So then finally, just to remind you, Thursday, the 26th of May, it's at the Intercontinental in London, Park Lane, and it will start at 12:15, which is always the time that it starts for drinks reception. Lunch will be at 4, and then the award ceremony will be between 3 and 4. So yes, thank you very much for coming along today, and a big thank you again to Dominic and Gillian. And you're very welcome to phone us. We try and make ourselves available to everybody, and any questions we're very happy to answer. And you can email us at gsa@suzannehowe.com or call us on 0208 468 4923. Thank you very much indeed.
Suzanne, we have a question.
Okay.
From Niall and from Dublin.
Yeah.
And can you outline the certificates required in the submission process? Is there a desired list?
There is, and the desired list is if you go into the entry form. If you go online, if you go onto the website and put your name and your password, your email address and your password, you will then see the entry form, and the list of certificates is there. In fact, Niall, if you email me, I'll send you the list to make it easier as well. So I have got a PDF, so that if you don't want to go online, I can give you a PDF so you can have a look at them all. There aren't many, there's about 8.
Great. Oh. Niall, okay, thank you, brilliant. He'll take a look now and email you. Thanks. Does anyone else have any questions? Any questions for Gillian or Dominic while we're on the phone? I have a question, Suzanne.
Yes, Amy.
Which category do you think is the most entered, and which one do you think is the least entered? Just to give people an idea of where to place their bets.
That is a really, really difficult question because it does change every year. I would say the shopping malls, retail, and the offices, especially the large offices, are the most popular. I'm not going to say which is the least popular, actually. I'm going to keep that a secret. But
Yeah.
the most popular are offices and shopping malls, which is why I think it's important, if you do want to enter those because that's what you clean, that's fair enough, but give yourself a second chance by entering another category like the environmental awareness, diversity, or going the extra mile, or training.
Great. Thanks, Suzanne.
That's okay.
Lovely. I don't think we have any more questions in the chat. So if we are done, you've got Suzanne's details there. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions along the way. You know, we're happy to support you in putting forward your best entry for the awards, and look forward to receiving them and seeing you at the event, most importantly.
And Amy, this will go online as well,
Yep.
won't it? So they'll
Yep.
be able to see some of this information again if they want to look at it again.
Absolutely. It's gonna the session's been recorded and we're going to upload it onto the website as well. So it's all there. But yeah, and if you have any questions, just please reach out.
Great.
Great.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Have a lovely day, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Is it just us now? Yep.